Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are now listening to the Apocalyptic Optimath channel with your unhumble and most unholy host, me, the Apocalyptic Optimath. Thank you guys for all the subscriptions recently. I think I had 7 new subscribes. So, shout out. Thank you for all the support. Just this week alone, just last week I had like 4. Last week I had like, well, from like last week and this week I had like a total of like 9 subscriptions, because I was at 270. I was at 260. And then it went up to 264, and then boom, this week we're at 271. I think, if I'm not mistaken, we're at 271. So, thank you guys for supporting my channel. Thank you guys for all the subscriptions. I guess I should remind people to subscribe to my channel. I guess you guys be listening to my videos, but you kind of like forget to subscribe or forget to leave a like, which happens. I do it sometimes, and it sucks. And it sucks when I forget it, because sometimes I do be watching something that's like interesting and shit, and I'll be like, ooh, I'm gonna keep that, and then I just watch the whole thing and forget about it, and I didn't subscribe, and then I lose the channel. I can't find it again because I don't remember the name of it. Anyway, subscribe to my channel, leave a like if you like what you're hearing, leave a comment, all that good stuff. Yeah, so let's get into it. So, you guys, I see you guys are not ready. I see you guys are not ready for this pan energy. You guys are not ready for the pan energy, man. You guys are not ready for pan energy because you're not. I don't feel your excitement, bro. I don't feel your excitement, man. Ixnay Angstay on Jafar, who knows what pan energy is, but I'm not necessarily talking about Intense LeVay's version of pan energy, even though it's the same. I believe that I actually understand the full length of this spiritual connection and the spiritual energy of this pan energyism, right? Because it is a magical thing. It's not just, it's a magical thing. It's because you can be a leader, right? Now, you can be a leader. Anybody can be a leader, right? Anybody can be a leader. Anybody can be a leader, right? Anybody can be a leader, so it's not necessarily a pan energy type of thing. It's more of when we're talking about leadership, we're talking about, like, communication. We're talking about communication. We're talking about knowing how to communicate and everything. Pan energy is a little bit different. It is leadership energy, though. It is leadership energy. And you're not necessarily, it's because a lot of Lucifer's teachings is encoded, right? And it's on purpose. It's only for, because the thing, Lucifer is an obsessive being, right? Like, he's very curious, and once he get curious about something, he's very interested in that thing, so he learns everything about it, right? So Lucifer has a tendency to tell us things, but he only gives us a snippet of what he actually means, and then we have to go crazy and literally lose ourselves within the abyss or within the infernal realms in order to figure out what exactly this discipline or this notion is comprised of, right? And when we're talking about pan energy, right? we're talking about more than leadership. We're also talking about immortality. Yes. Because, the story of Peter Pan, which is the accurate story, the story of, and all stories from Disney are accurate, as much as they're diabolical, they're accurate depictions. So, in the story of Peter Pan is immortal. He can't die. He can't even age. Like, he stays the same age forever. He's been Peter Pan since day one. So I think he's like 150 years old, probably more than that. So he's like Wolverine. He's like Wolverine, so and he carries a sharp knife on his hip for the adults, because adults are evil. Adults are evil, man. So, and that's facts. And you would think that the story of Peter Pan is actually diabolical, but even in a Christian point of view, it's not that diabolical if you think about it, because you need a child's heart, right? Like, we all have a child's heart at the end of the day. It doesn't matter if you're an adult or not. You might have or have not a child's heart. And that's what Peter Pan is the guardian of. That's what Pan guards. He guards your child's heart. That's what Peter Pan does. He guards children's heart. Like, he keeps them in a childlike he doesn't keep them in a childlike state. He's not maliciously keeping them like that. He calls his group the outcasts. Why does he call his group the outcasts? Because Peter Pan goes out and finds children that are about to lose their childish belief, right? They're about to lose their childlike heart. They're about to lose it. So when he sees somebody that's about to lose their childlike heart, he goes out and he gets them and he brings them back with him so he can maintain his childlike heart, and they become immortal too, right? Because at the end of the day, everybody in Peter Pan is immortal. I think even Captain Hook, right? But that's only because he lives in Peter Pan's world and he doesn't live in the, so Captain Hook being a double entendre for the adult genitalia. So Peter Pan is actually saving children from adults with malicious intent, right? So he keeps them away from the hook, the penis. But that's facts. It sounds stupid when I say it like that, but it's facts. Like, he keeps them away from Captain Hook. So, when we're talking about, like, Peter Pan energy, which is a very serious thing, it's a very serious thing because Pan is Lucifer. Pan is another name for Lucifer. Lucifer being a guardian. Like, Lucifer has Lucifer has two well-known guardian names. He's the guardian of the forest. He's the keeper of the forest, and he's also Pan. And Pan is inside of the forest. So there's a version of Lucifer that oversees all forests, all nature, and there's a version of Lucifer that you can find in nature, right? So Lucifer is a very potent energy. It's a very potent energy. It's a very, very potent energy. Like I said, I don't believe that the Hebrew God is actually God. I think Lucifer is the actual God. I think the Hebrew God, some would call him a demiurge, demigod, Shakla, all those, there's different versions of his name, as a demiurge type character, and I believe we call him the usurper. I believe he's a usurper. He usurped the power and utilized it for his own means, to generate power. Because at the end of the day, we're all praying to this God, and we've been praying for years. Because people think that the Matrix don't make sense. People think that people believe, like, there's very intelligent people that believe they understand the Matrix, and they probably do in some way, shape, or form. But they don't believe in the farming aspect of the Matrix. To smart individuals, that particular experiment does not make sense. But as I stated before, I think the reason why the Sentinels are doing that to humans is to put them on a timeout, because they can't they don't know how to behave. Humans don't know how to behave, so he put them. I don't believe that they need the farm either. I don't believe they need it doesn't make sense. You're right, it doesn't make sense. There's no need for a farm. So but the attitude of the Matrix is a very conscious. It attacks your consciousness. Why would Sentinels attack your consciousness? Why would a bunch of robots care about what is in your consciousness, right? Because they're studying us. They're trying to understand what kind of mental processes are going through us, because they made more than one version. And at the beginning, he said it itself. The architect is literally saying the truth. Like the architect in the movie, he said it himself. I've made a paradise version of the Matrix, and that shit still broke down. Like he basically saying, I tried everything and you guys still fuck it up. Like, that's what he's saying. He's saying, I tried everything and you guys still find a way to mess everything up. So the Sentinels are trying to, and this version of the Matrix that we have that is more dark, this version of the Matrix, my computer was glitching. This version of the Matrix that is more dark is the only version of the Matrix where humans feel comfortable. It's the only version that works. So, like, I don't believe necessarily that is an absolute truth. There's also, we need to make a movie, we need to make some money, yada, yada, yada. And we have to make it interesting, so on and so forth. I don't think it's that easy as humans love to suffer and a story. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I don't even believe the notion of humans being unhappy living inside of a paradise. I think what he's referring to, if we do a correlation with humanity and the Matrix, the movie, not the actual Matrix that we actually live in, I think that's an allegory for the fall of the fallen angels, for the start of the fallen angels, right? So, the rebellion of Lucifer being Neo. Lucifer being the first one. So, if we superimpose reality over the Matrix, we could tell ourselves that the first iteration of the Matrix, like if that was a movie, if that super juxtaposition was a movie, well, we would refer to Lucifer as Neo. Lucifer would be Neo. He would have rebelled against God. He would have rebelled against the architect, right? So, and trying to free minds, because at the end of the day, Lucifer freed the mind of Adam and Eve. Regardless of what you think or regardless of what you say, you shall be as gods. And if you watch, and if, like I said, we're doing a juxtaposition here, a juxtaposition, whatever. We're superimposing one thing over another here. So if we're superimposing one thing on the other here, Adam, he told Adam and Eve that they were going to be as gods. If you look at the movie, what happens when they free their minds? What happens when Lucifer, Neo, comes and tells, or the snake, and if you want to be literal, right? If you want to be word for word, let's not say Lucifer, let's say Morpheus. Morpheus being the snake in the grass, right? So he slitters inside of Adam's life, Neo or Lucifer, Adam, Lucifer, whatever, how you want to see it. It depends. People can see things in many different ways, but it's all the same at the end of the day. So just for you not to get lost, I'm giving you options. So let's say the snake in the grass is not Lucifer, it's just the snake in the grass, and you call that snake in the grass Morpheus. Morpheus comes along and tempts Adam, and tempts Eve, and tempts Adam. So they end up eating, they end up biting, right? They end up taking the bait, right? They bite the apple. They took the bait, right? But what happens? Their minds are free. Because at the end of the day, the snake in the grass, tempted Adam and Eve with more life. He did not tempt Adam and Eve necessarily with power. He didn't tempt Adam and Eve necessarily with seduction. He tempted them with more knowledge. More of what actually is, which they did not know of. So they freed their minds at the end of the day. So, what does that have to do with pan energy? Well, a child's heart, freeing your mind is the same as having a child's heart at the end of the day. And this is why even in a Christian point of view, it's still a positive thing to have pan energy if you're capable of having pan energy, because you have to be high power. You have to be a knower of high magic in order to become pan, or to have pan-like energy, right? Because some of us are like Pan. Some of us are made to rally people together. And it's not necessarily children. But there's also another side to the story. Because you could be a leader, but not be Pan. You could be Pan, but not a motivational speaker. You know? So we're talking about the Illuminati, basically, right? The Illuminati seducing people and removing their innocence through various ways, right? The Illuminati takes away humanity's innocence, right? So when you're Peter Pan, you're going around fighting these agents, these Illuminati characters. You're fighting these Illuminati characters, but I think what most of us forgot is either we're lost boys, or we're Peter Pan. And I think a lot of us have this sort of confusion on which is which. Some of us don't know if we're lost boys. Some of us don't know if we're Peter Pan. but we're still going around helping people and doing things. You know, we're still going around helping people and doing things. So, I'm getting kind of hot here. I'm getting kind of heated. Give me a second. So we're still going around doing these things, doing these acts, right? But the thing that we forget is that just like Jesus, there's a kind of energy that, because quantum physics is complicated, okay? But I'm going to try to explain it as the best way, to the best of my ability. When your Christ consciousness, when you're watching TV, there's a story that you cannot change, right? When you're watching TV, there's a story that you cannot change. You can think, you can imagine things, you can decipher things, you can how do you say, you can decipher things, right? There's another word for that, but that's not the word I'm looking for. But you can decipher things, right? But you can't change what you're looking at. And so let's say life is a little bit of the same. So what I mean is, you can play a character, but you can't change the story of the character that you're playing, because it's a character. So you can't go outside the bounds of that character, since that's a character, and that's what everything that happens to that character makes the character who he is. And that's also why I believe that the Bible is a curse. I believe that the Bible wants you to believe that you're Christ so that you get crucified. It's a trap, right? It's to eliminate, the Bible was created to eliminate some people that might have the heart and the mind and the spirit and the soul to wake up people to a better way of life, instead of all this corruption and all this sacrificing and taking away people's innocence. That's what I believe. So, no offense to Christ. No offense to Jesus. I have no problem with Jesus. I mean, I have Christ consciousness myself. But, and I cannot change that story, no matter how hard I try. It is what it is. It's the path that I chose. I prefer Christ over the Vatican. I prefer Christ over the Illuminati. I prefer Christ over a lot of dubious individual. Maybe not Lucifer, but I don't think Lucifer is a dubious character. I don't think Lucifer is ambiguous, but there's a lot of ambiguous characters in life that I would rather be Jesus instead of them, because I do not condone a lot of their activity. I would rather Christ over Masonry, Freemasonry, or Masonry. I don't know. I don't know if there's a good version of Masonry and there's a bad version. I have no idea. But I know that in my heart and my soul, I'm more like Christ than I'm like a Mason. So, we enter this world and you can't change the story. So, you go forward in life. So, most of us, nobody's just one thing. Nobody's just one thing. I'm not just Christ. I'm also Lucifer. Right? It is through Christ that I have found my Luciferian energy. It is through Christ that I found my Luciferian energy. But regardless of what I choose to be, I cannot change the story. And what I mean by all that, because we're getting off track here. What I mean by all that is you're a character living through life, and there's certain things that happen to you because of who you are. It's not happening because you're a bad person. It's not happening because you're a good person. It's happening because you are who you are. Like the bad things that comes towards me happens because I'm Lucifer. I don't blame Lucifer for what happens to me, but since I blame myself for what happens to me because I want to be Lucifer, or I am Lucifer. So I can't blame the story for something that is supposed to happen. And the closer I get to this character, to being this character, the more of this character I become, the more of that reality I will live, whether it is positive or negative. Both will happen. So, we're going through life and we're doing certain things without necessarily realizing that those things that we're doing is connected to some kind of behavioral pattern. The way you handle things, give me a second here. The way you handle things will dramatically affect who you become. And you tell yourself, you go through life, you tell yourself, I'm me, I can't be anything else but me. But who are you? Do you know who you are? Can you see who you are? Do you know that you're Peter Pan? Do you know that you're a lost boy? Do you know that you have Christ consciousness? Do you know that you're Luciferian? Do you know these things? Can you see it? Can you feel it? Can you like verbally communicate those things? If you can't, it's because you don't know yet, or you're in denial of said things. Because some people are straight up denying stuff. Like at the end of the day, some people straight up deny shit. You know what I mean? Like, you know, deny. So what I'm trying to get at here is, whether you're Pan or Christ, people follow you. Leave a like. This is a perfect time to say leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you like what you're hearing and you want to hear some more. Subscribe to my channel, leave a like, leave a comment, because it's going to help this video get to other people that like listening to stuff like this so they can hear it too. Follow. If you cannot lead, then you shall follow. So, you know, and there's nothing wrong about following. How do you become a master? By following the master. That's how you become master. If you have no masters, you can't become a master. You're not, and if you're a master and you have no followers, you're not a master either. You know what I mean? Because it takes an object and it takes an observer. Like Earth. Like, think about it like this, right? If you feel like what I'm saying is bullshit, how do you know you exist? Do you know you exist? How do you know you exist? How do you know you exist, bro? Okay. So some of you guys probably said I can because I'm breathing and stuff like. Yeah, but what if you were not conscious? That means you couldn't see yourself breathing. You couldn't feel yourself breathing. How would you know that you exist? Oh, but if I don't breathe, I'm dead. No, not necessarily. I'm not talking about life and death. I'm talking about existence, or the planet Earth. How do you know that the planet Earth exists? It takes an observer in order for something to become. And this is what I keep saying on my channel. The observer is as powerful as the person doing the action. They talk about that in Rocky, I think it's Rocky 3, with Tommy Gunn, right? When Tommy Gunn was in the movie, and they're like, Rocky's watching Tommy fight, and and Tommy's doing the same shit that Rocky's doing. See, everybody thinks that part was like, oh, but it's just like they trained a lot together and he taught him all of his moves, and that's what. Nah, he was doing magic. Rocky was doing magic. Rocky's a magician. Sylvester Stallone is a high level witch. No offense, Stone. How do you call it? What's his little name? Sly, yeah. You know what I mean? No offense, Sly. Not for real. I think he's one of the good ones, more or less. You know what I mean? He's a cool cat. Sly has the potential to be a very cool individual. And he probably is. Actually, if you meet him in real life, maybe not. But if you met him in real life, he's probably a very relaxed character. I don't know. He seems that way. Maybe not, but he seems that way. But one thing, he's not a fucking idiot. That nigga is a witch. That nigga a magician, bro. I guarantee you. Watch old ass movies that he wrote. That nigga a witch, bro. He knows shit. You know what I mean? So they put that shit in the movie as like, oh, they just trained a lot, so that's why his move. No. Rocky is a magician. He does things. He just makes things happen. And he's not supposed to be able to make these things happen. That's the thing about Rocky. Rocky is a story about somebody doing the impossible, right? Like, he's supposed to lose, but he never fucking loses. Like, he's supposed to lose, bro. Like, he has no chance. You know what I mean? He's pretty beef, but the guys that he fight are way more skilled than he was. You know what I mean? Like, so, he's a magician. He makes things happen. It's another story about believing in yourself, and and perseverance, and yada yada yada. So back to what we were saying. He was doing magic, because you can do that too. You can do that at home. The same shit he did in the movie, you can do it too. You can do it too. If you like a certain rapper and shit, bro, like, if you put the right energy, if you can attune your little tuning fork, if you can attune your spiritual tuning fork to whatever you are watching, you will be synchronized with whatever you're watching. You will be synchronized with it. But like I said, you can act within a story. You can affect a story, but the story will remain the same. More or less. And that's a scary part too. You know, because as we're going towards the future, because now we're getting prepared. We're getting prepared, you know. We're getting groomed here, bro. We're getting groomed. We're being groomed, bro. We're being groomed. And what I'm trying to get at here is maybe, and this is hypothetically speaking, there is no confirmation of these things. This is something that I'm wondering if it could happen at a later date. That means somebody to someone somewhere, you know? That means something to somebody somewhere, you know? So, what I'm trying to get at here, maybe, hypothetically speaking, maybe we'll be able to affect things that already fucking happened. Holy fucking shit. I understand chronomancy. I got it. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, fucking Spirit. I understand chronomancy now. Fuck it. Alright. Fuck it. I understand chronomancy. I got it. I got the trick. But we're being groomed, like I said. So we don't have all access to these abilities that we currently have. We have the ability to do some things at a certain peak or a certain level. But I do believe that this is not the limit of these said powers. I think we're just getting used to things, you know, until we're comfortable enough for the next step. And this is what the Illuminati doesn't want to happen, because we're going towards a world where we can like, why would you're greedy, right? Okay. Or, you know, worst case scenario, you're a pedophile, right? Let's just look at that like this, man. I'm not trying to get pedophiles on my side. I'm not trying to recruit pedophiles here, bro. But think about it. Let's worst case scenario. Let's be disgusted, right? This is hell anyways. This is what we do, right? So let's be disgusting. So let's say you're a pedo. No pun intended, no offense, man. Pardon your face, people. I'm just trying to make you, because sometimes when you take the worst case scenario, that's how everybody understands. You know, because you sit there, you say goody two shoes shit, and then everybody's like, goody two shoes, whatever. Okay? They start blowing the fit and they lose their fucking shit, and whatever. So let's say you're a pedo, right? So let's So let's say you're a PDF file, right? What would be the point of joining the Illuminati when you can just make a bunch of children appear in your house? Like, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, right? Like, what would be the point? Why would you join a group telling you, oh, well, you can fuck as many children as you want? Yeah, but I'm already doing that. Like, you know, like, I don't fucking care about your shit, dude. I'm already doing that. So, like, you know, so, you know, oh, well, we got money. Dude, I'm a magician. I can make money appear out of fucking thin air. What the fuck are you talking? Get the fuck out of here. Go away. You know, that would be your reaction. They would have nothing to offer. They would have nothing to offer. So less and less people would join. So, I'm gonna stop being a dick before I get a foot in the mouth disease or something worse. You know, like, so that's the face of a man that understands the gravity of what he just said. So, anyways, we're being groomed into this belief system, and I believe that once we get comfortable, we will be capable of changing the fucking story if we wanted to. Pardon my language. But it is amazing if you think about it. We can already affect things around the story as of today. But let's say the next time we watch Rocky and we like, you know what? You go rent. So in the future, you're going to go rent Rocky. You're going to watch Rocky. But instead of affecting things within the story of Rocky, you'll be like, nah, fuck it. I want Rocky to lose. Knock his ass out. Boom. And that's how the movie stops. That's how the movie ends. You're gonna be able to change the fucking story. Right in front of your eyes. Of course, that's probably not for everybody. It's probably not for everybody. And maybe somebody out there can do that. I don't know. Maybe. You know, but I've noticed in my personal experience, I do it on purpose. You know, I used to practice voodoo with voodoo dolls and all kinds of shit. So I'm used to animating inanimate objects, you know. And other people can do it too. I've seen other people, like, I'm surprised because I thought I was the only one that was capable of doing that. I met a guy. His name is Chicky. I named a guy named Chicky. And Chicky told me straight up off the back porch on hood. This guy told me, I shit you fucking not. If I'm lying, I am dying. He told me straight up, right to my fucking face, I can change things in the TV, bro. Like, he told me I can change, and he told me that, and you would be like, well, you know, whatever, you know, like, change things in the TV, sure. No, he said I can change world events by watching it. Like, if I look at things, this is how he told it. This is word for word what he said. And I didn't say shit the whole time. I didn't even tell him that I could do that too. He just, out of the blue, just started rambling. And I'm like, and he's like, I can, if I look at world events, and he's saying like, he was telling me like, we were talking about the Illuminati and shit, and we were talking about the Matrix and the Illuminati and shit, and he's like, you know, the Illuminati is finished. The Matrix is over. The Illuminati is finished. And he's like explaining to me like, I can change things in, like, if I watch the news and something happens, I can change it. I can change what happened by looking at it. You know, the observer has as much power as the one doing. You know, yeah, and the Illuminati knows this. The Illuminati knows that they're taking a chance when they are very aware that they're taking a chance at creating these false flags events and putting it on TV. It's a risk. Because they know how would the Illuminati know all that? Because what I'm talking about is not just magic. It's actually a very respected and actual thing that you would study in physics. This is not some bullshit that came out of my head that blah blah. No, this is actual science. This is literal actual science. Have you ever heard of the experiment? You can look it up on YouTube right now if you want to. It's an experiment with atoms. They're trying to figure out if atoms have consciousness, right? And what the slit, it's called the slit experiment. So what they did is they put a wall, and they put a slit in the wall. So they put a camera and a person in a kind of, well, the person's not in the room, but the person is looking at what's going on in the room. And when the person is looking at what's going on in the room, all of the atoms are going through the slit. All the atoms are acting exactly how they're supposed to act. But the funny and very interesting thing is, when nobody's looking at what's going on in the room, the atoms are not just going in the slit. They're doing other things that they're not doing when somebody's watching. So it's a very interesting experience. This is a scientific experiment. This is like, you know, so. So anyway. I kind of lost track of what the fuck I was talking about. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna stop the video right here, because this is good enough. This is good enough. I could go on, but then we're gonna start talking about other shit that has nothing to do with pan energy. So I'm gonna stop the video right there. I'll just make another one if I feel like it. But let's recap before I go though. Pan energy. You guys are not ready. You guys are not ready. You're not ready for that pan energy, bro. That's some good shit. It's power. It's kingship. Peter Pan is not just some guy walking around in fucking trousers with no pants. You know what I mean? You know, Peter Pan is not just a dude that's just going around with no pants on, bro. Like that's, you know what I mean? You know, you're a king. Pan is a king. Pan is Lucifer. Is a king. That's why you God, the Catholic version of God sees humanity as his children. God is God. It's normal for him to be like that, right? But you are king. And at the end of the day, being a king is like a smaller version, more or less. It's like a downsized version of being God, right? So wouldn't it be normal if you're a king to see people as your children too? Wouldn't that be normal? So if the Catholic God is whoever he would like for him to think he is, and then Lucifer is also king of everything, but Lucifer is also Pan. Okay, so let's say Lucifer is God, so we're his children. Trismegistus, 3 times great. Hermes Trismegistus, 3 times great. That's what Trismegistus means. It means 3 times great. So Lucifer is God, and you're his children. Lucifer is king. We are his children. And Lucifer is also Pan. Children. Your children's children are his children. So would it be, if you truly believe, if you're like a Anton LaVey kind of character, if you're kind of like a Aleister Crowley character, if you're a, I don't know, you know, all them guys that work in, you know, Satania, you know, all those guys, man, like, you know, I mean, there's something wrong going. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Everybody, I don't even hate these fucking guys, bro. I think they did a great fucking job with the satanic community on YouTube, bro. But there's a lot of fucked up shit going on in their fucking thing, man, in their fucking community, bro. They need to get their shit together, man. I'm sorry, man. Like, but for real though, they did a good job, man. Anyway. So whatever. If you're one of those guys, cause I don't think they realize how close they are to a lot of things. Anyways, but whatever. I guess that's none of my business, cause I don't know. They're kind of weird, but like. I don't know. They're kind of weird, man. But they're pretty, anyway. But it is what it is, man. Nobody's perfect, and it takes all kinds of people to make, to build a village. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But if you're that kind of guy, if you're that kind of character, right? You should take this under consideration. You have a bigger destiny than you let yourself have. And you can change that destiny. You can change that destiny. Like, it's not because I say that it's gonna happen. At the end of the day, it's up to you if you want that. You don't have to, but that's what technically you were born to do. So, technically speaking, because of all your skill set, the things that happen, you're against the Illuminati. Illuminati is aware of you, especially if you're a person that the Illuminati is aware of. You have a great destiny in front of you, because the Illuminati doesn't just attack random people. I mean, yeah, they do, but there's a reason. And especially for people like us, you know what I'm talking about. I don't need to explain, oh yeah, they do sometimes, but I don't need to explain all that. You know who you are. I don't need to say all that. You know who you are. So at the end of the day, there's a reason why they're attacking you. They're attacking you because you're Peter Pan. That's why they're attacking you. And you might be, and a lot of us are like, well, I don't care, I don't want to be Peter Pan, I just want them to stop attacking me and shit. That's not how to see shit. Sorry, I don't mean to make fun of you. I'm not trying to make fun of you, but that's not how you're supposed to see things. It's not. You're seeing it all wrong. It doesn't matter what you want. The Illuminati is not going to take the risk that you're not going to become who you're supposed to become. Even though you might still be right. Because at the end of the day, you could change your mind and not give two fiddlesticks about any of this. And in that process, that thought process, you would be right to think like the Illuminati ain't got to fucking attack me. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? But they still do. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. So you might as well fucking do it. You're running away from who you're supposed to be. And yet, people still see you, and they still see you. So what's your point? No offense. I'm not trying to diss you. I'm not trying to make fun of you. But think about it for 2 seconds. They're gonna attack you anyway. So why not? They're gonna attack you any fucking way. So why not? You might as well be who you're supposed to be. And at least, you will have your soul. At least you'll have your soul. At least you'll have your soul. At least you'll go into the real heaven and not the fake one. You'll go into the real heaven. There's a lot of advantages into accepting who you are. It's not just disadvantages, because right now you're seeing all the disadvantages. You're seeing, oh, well, people are going to attack me. Oh, well, people are going to be jealous. Oh, people are going to make fun of me. Oh, people are going to do this and do that and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but no matter what you do, they're going to do it because it's a plan. You see, they know that you're honest about what you're saying. They know that you're sincere about what you're saying. They just don't give a fuck. They don't care. So you might as well do the thing. You might as well. Because at the end of the day, you're the only one punishing you is you. You're punishing yourself for what other people are doing. That don't make sense, man. You're punishing yourself. You're dumbing yourself down. You're punishing yourself for what other people are doing. Dog, come on now. That's crazy. You know what that called? You know what that's called? Judo. That's a judo flip. You're getting judo flipped, bro. You getting judo flipped, man. You're punishing yourself for shit other people are doing. Why? I mean, I understand why, but it's gonna happen anyway. So, you know, like that's what I'm trying to say. That what I'm trying to say is it's gonna happen anyway. So you might as well do it and not punish yourself. Gain that knowledge, gain that power, use it to your best of your abilities, access the Akashic records, have an astral realm, presence, huh? Access the actual heaven, huh? Y'all ain't listening. So anyways, man, that's a weird recap, but I had to, you know, I had to put that in. I had to drive that point home right there. So, you know, pan energy. We got pan energy. You know, and I feel you guys are not ready for that, man. I feel you guys are not ready for it because you listening, but there's no reaction. You know, I'm like, yo, you Peter Pan, you can fly and shit. You know, like, you know, there's no reaction. It's like people like, you know, like, come on, let's go, let's do it, let's do this. You know what I mean, fucking high value man shit. This is the same kind of energy. This is high value man energy. Andrew Tate, Peter Pan, Lucifer, Jesus, fucking Toph, Shiva, Vishnu, Kali. It's all the same energy. Odin. It's all the same energy. Freya, Valkyries. It's all the same energy, man. We're going to the same place. All of us, all those names I just named are all living in the same place. It's all the same. So, you know, to recap what we were saying, man, pan energy is not necessarily leadership energy. It could be seen as that, but it's not necessarily pan energy. It's not necessarily a leadership energy. There's leadership. That's one thing. Motivational speakers, leadership, entrepreneurs and all that. Pirates, modern day pirates, which are entrepreneurs, not gangsters. Gangsters, that shit, that's dead. Gangster shit is dead. So real gangsters are entrepreneurs now. Real niggas, they're entrepreneurs. Like real people, like Action Jackson motherfuckers, they're entrepreneurs. They're not gangsters. That shit's dead. They killed it. I don't know when they killed it. Probably in 2012. It probably 2012 because 2012 was the end of the world. And that's facts. Ever since when 2012 hit, the world changed. A lot of people died in 2012. A lot of people died. You know what I mean? So that gangster shit, that's over. That's finished. So stop looking at that. You know what I mean? Coming to the real world. Hop over to the real world. If you still have a pirate heart, I have a pirate heart. I'm Blackbeard. I have a pirate heart. I'm Blackbeard, bro. I love Blackbeard. I always loved Blackbeard. Always. And there's more than one Blackbeard. There's Blackbeard. There's Bluebeard. I think there's Redbeard. I think there's Brownbeard. Like, there's more than one Blackbeard, by the way. Queen Anne's Revenge, which was a slave boat. It was a slave boat that he stole. He stole the slave boat, and he named it Queen Anne's Revenge. Queen Anne. Anne was his wife. He called the boat after his wife, and his wife was black. He had a black wife. Blackbeard's wife was black. Anyway, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop, but I'm a pirate too. I have a pirate heart. I moved that shit. That street shit. I moved that street shit to entrepreneurship. That's where the action's at. That's where the real shit's at. That's where real life is. Because that gangster shit over there, that's a lie. They be doing all kind of weird shit. Like, that's black magic. That's not gangster. That's black magic. Those guys are doing black magic. It's angelic magic. They're doing angel magic. And I don't mean that in a very nice way. I mean that in the worst possible way that you could imagine. So stop going over there. That shit's over. It's done. It's over. I wish it was still alive. I wish it was still alive, but it's not. It ain't. It's done. I made it all up. You know what I mean? So, it's not just about leadership. Pen energy is a powerful driving force, and you will have to be comfortable with taking other people's children away from their fucking parents. Because that's what's going to happen. You're not going to do it on purpose. But, and when I mean children, I don't just mean like small children. I don't even mean small children. I'm talking about full grown adults. Full grown adults. They're going to follow you. And you will have to become strong for them. You will have to become strong for them. Like I said, this is not for everybody. Not everybody will be able to become strong for everyone. But you will have to become strong for them because they are going to follow you. They're already following you. It's you that's not playing your part. You're not playing your role. It's not even that you're not ready. You're straight up. You're probably ready, but you're not playing the role. But they're still there. And even if you're like, I don't believe in that pen shit. Look, I'm Christ. Well, it's the same thing for you too. If you Christ, that goes ditto for you too. It goes ditto for you too. Same shit. Pardon my language. It goes ditto for you too. Same kind of energy. Christ, I forgot, I didn't name Christ. Sorry, my bad. Christ, Shiva, Kali, whatever. Same shit. They all go in the same way. This is the left. This is the left. Well, that's your left. That's my right. My left is over here. You know. So, you know, we all going to the left. Everybody's going the same way. That way. You know what I mean? So, it don't matter. This is what it is. Because these people are taking away our innocence, man. And yes, they're taking children's innocence away. But they're also taking grown-up. And the worst part is, you want to know something? You want to know why I emphasize more on adults than actual children? Because how the fuck do you affect the children? By affecting the adult. Bada bing! So you take away the adult's innocence and the child has no chance. You take away the young adult or the adult's innocence and children have zero chance in hell. Because it's all in the mind. It's all in the head. It's all in the head. You affect the mind. Job done. Look, ma, no hands. That's what the Illuminati were doing to us for centuries. Centuries. Millennia. Because I don't believe the Illuminati just existed today. That shit existed a long fucking time ago. Gaddafi mentioned this before he died. He said that the world is ran by 5 superpowers. And these guys are the 5 leaders of these 5 superpowers, and they are the ones that are managing and creating these futures. They're managing and creating these futures, man. The hand of God, the 5 fingers, the hand of God, the all-seeing eye, the overseers, the overlords. That shit's been happening for millennia, not centuries, millennia. It's time for that shit to stop. So, it's not even time for that shit to stop. That's not even the case. Because at the end of the day, you're like, pardon your face, all demons, please cover your ears. I'm about to say some holy shit. So, please, cover your ears and avert your gaze as I say this. But I need to say it because I want everybody to understand what the fuck I'm talking about. Pardon my language. You're like Moses, right? Because at the end of the day, you're like Moses, and you're going to bring everybody to the promised land. So it doesn't matter if everything around you is burning up, because where you're going, it ain't going to be burning up. Everything else is going to be burning around us, but we're not going to be burning up with it. So you don't even need to worry about all that shit. About the superpowers and the global powers and the power. Fuck it. Your job is to be yourself, amass the power, attain heaven, and try to bring some people with you. That's it. That's it. That's all. That's our job. That's all we have to do. Our job is to build a boat. Like I said in my last video, build an ark. Are you an ark? I'm not an ark, but I'm working on it. I'm trying to be an ark. This video is a testament of me wanting to become an ark. I want to be an ark. And a lot of people don't want to be an ark because they're afraid of what the Illuminati is doing to them. Because the Illuminati keeps attacking them and is discouraging them from wanting to be an ark. So a lot of people already know what I'm saying is facts, but they don't want to fucking do it because they're afraid of how the Illuminati might react to it. But the thing is, at the end of the day, the Illuminati is reacting like that because they don't want you to be an ark. Avert your eyes, demon. They don't want you to be Moses. Avert your eyes, demon. They don't want you to be Christ. They don't want you to be Pan. They don't want you to be Lucifer. They don't want you to be Asmodeus, who's the friend of humanity. The wrath of Lucifer, Aishmadeva. They don't want these things for you. They don't want these things for you. Because these things, if you have them, it's not that you're going to attack them. They're going to lose all the power they have over people. It's not even personal, man. It's not even personal, bro. I mean, they're acting like it's personal because they're fucking crazy. But the reason why they're doing that is because if you are who you, like I said before with the PDF file, analogy, what was the point of somebody joining the group when they can do that shit all they want? The Illuminati would be in existence. In a world like yours, the Illuminati cannot exist. It's useless. It would make no sense. The Illuminati would be the equivalent of a Mormon. No pun intended, no offense meant, but it's kind of facts. You know, they'd be like they'd be like knocking at your door, handing out flowers. It'd be like closing, you shut the goddamn door in their fucking face. Be like, these goddamn Illuminati motherfuckers ringing at my door again. I'm watching Saturday morning cartoons, and you can bother me at fucking 9 o'clock in the morning talking about Illuminati this, Illuminati that. Shut up. That's you. But you just don't know it yet. So anyway, I'm going to stop it right here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys for all the support. Please subscribe to my channel. Leave a like. Subscribe to my channel. Leave a like. Did I forget a comment? Because it helps my channel reach more people because of algorithms and fucking binary numbers and codes and how computers fucking function, the World Wide Web and all that good shit. All right, have a good one. Peace out.